Welcome to The Explainer. You know that feeling when you're in a great conversation, everything's flowing, and then, boom, it just dies. You're not quite sure what happened, but the energy is just gone. Well, today we're breaking down an article from Business Weekly that has some fascinating insights into why that happens. We have all been there. A great chat just goes completely cold, and you're left replaying it in your head, wondering, what did I say wrong? The answer might be surprisingly simple. And here's the thing, it's not about being a bad person. It's often just about using the wrong words at the wrong time. And this is where communication expert John Bowe comes in. He makes this brilliant point that being a great conversationalist, someone people love to talk to, isn't really about what you say. It's about what you choose not to say. It's about spotting those little hidden traps in our everyday language. So what's the big secret? Is it some kind of magical charisma you have to be born with? Not at all. It's actually a skill, and it really just boils down to one simple but incredibly powerful idea. Here it is. The key is to make other people feel safe. The best communicators, they create this space where you feel heard and understood, not sized up or judged. It's a space where you can let your guard down and just talk. All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. What are these phrases that can just stop a conversation in its tracks? Bowe has identified 7 of them, these little verbal habits that people with high emotional intelligence make a conscious effort to avoid. Let's dig in. First up is a true classic, one I'm sure we've all heard, and maybe even used, when things get a little heated. The irony, of course, is that telling someone to calm down has literally never made anyone calm down, ever. Just look at the difference here. You calm down is a wall. It completely dismisses what the other person is feeling. It's basically saying, your emotional response is wrong, but look at the alternative. I can tell you care. What happened? That opens a door. It validates their feelings and invites them to share more. It says, I see you and I'm listening. Now this next one, it might seem harmless, maybe even like you're showing concern. But, in a professional setting especially, it can really come across as a criticism, as if you're saying they're not quite on top of their game. So, on one hand, saying you look tired puts the focus on the person. It's a comment on their appearance. It's a judgment. But on the other hand, focusing on the situation, the workload seems heavy, and then offering help, that turns it into teamwork. It's not about them, it's about the circumstances, and you're offering support. Big difference. Oof, okay, this one is a real conversation stopper. It's usually a defensive reflex, right? We feel like we're being accused or burdened. But what it does is throw up a huge wall and instantly make the other person regret opening up. You have to remember, when somebody shares something with you, especially if it's sensitive, they're showing trust. Asking why can feel like an interrogation, like you're questioning their motives. But instead, just saying, thanks for letting me know, and then showing some curiosity, that shows you respect their trust and you're keeping that door open. Okay, number 4. This one often comes up right after a disagreement. And on the surface, it sounds like you're giving them your blessing, but the subtext is usually the complete opposite of supportive. Yeah, this is basically a sarcastic dismissal. It's code for, fine, I totally disagree, but go ahead and deal with the fallout yourself. It adds 0 positive value. It just creates distance. And as Bowe points out, you know what the best alternative is here? Just don't say it. Silence is way better. This next one is a trap that is so easy to fall into. Using these big, absolute words like always and never. It feels like you're making a powerful point, but what you're actually doing is laying a conversational landmine. The moment you say you always or you never, you're not talking about a specific action anymore. You're attacking their character, and that just immediately makes people defensive. But if you focus on the specific thing that happened, this week's report was late, you can actually start a real conversation instead of a fight. Yes, this is the universal warning siren that something offensive is about to be said. It's a phrase that basically tells the other person to brace for impact. Let's be honest, phrases like no offense or I'm just being honest are a way to say something hurtful without taking responsibility for it. It's a verbal loophole. A more emotionally intelligent approach doesn't need a disclaimer because it frames the feedback constructively. It's about solving problems together, not just pointing them out.
And finally, we have the ultimate conversation shutdown. This phrase, and it's often delivered with a big sigh, doesn't just end a topic. It dismisses it and the person who brought it up as unimportant.
Look at the huge contrast here. Can we just move on? That's a dead end. It shuts the door hard. But suggesting you pause and then scheduling a time to come back to it, that shows you actually value their input, even if you can't deal with it right this second. You're respecting them and the topic.
So the crucial point here isn't about just memorizing a list of bad phrases to avoid. It's really about understanding the fundamental shift in your mindset that's behind all of these better alternatives. This is the goal. This is what we're aiming for. It's not about being nice all the time or avoiding tough conversations. It's about handling them with skill and respect in a way that actually builds your connections with people instead of putting up walls between you. So, how do we put all of this into practice? Let's pull it all together now with a fantastic summary of this whole mindset shift we've been talking about. It makes the path forward really clear. Okay, this is your cheat sheet for better conversations. On the left, you've got those killer phrases. In the middle, that's the negative subtext, what people actually hear when you say them. And then on the right, you've got the smarter, more emotionally intelligent alternative. So, here's a little challenge for you. Don't try to change everything at once. Just pick one. Which one of these phrases are you going to try to catch yourself saying this week? It's a pretty small change, but trust me, it can make a huge difference in the quality of your connections and your conversations.
喜欢这种学习方式，欢迎订阅我的频道，让我们一起用下一个10分钟，把商业英文变简单。